Is it okay to be in love to a guy twice my age?
Sasha?
Yeah.
You're 20.
Yeah.
You're on the love line.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, I had a quick question. I live with my roommate, and
You guys are shacked up now?
What's that?
You and your roommate?
It's a girl. It's a friend of mine.
You lost her. Don't worry. Sasha, so what's going on? It's a guy?
No, it's a girl.
It's a girl.
Yeah, and she has a tendency to mumble a little bit in her sleep, and usually it's just, like, incoherent and, like, unintelligible stuff. And last night, like, she was kind of, like, going at it, and she was, like, moaning and groaning and, like, doing all this stuff, so I kind of got up to hear, like, what was going on. And she was, like, calling out my boyfriend's name, and she was moaning, and, like, somehow, like, she was, like, dreaming about him or doing something with him. And
What's your boyfriend's name?
Vaughn.
Oh, yeah. You know, if it was Bob or something, you could excuse it.
Right. I don't know what to think, like whether she has a crush on him or if it was like a dream or...
I mean, it was like a dream, right? Okay, it was a dream, and what the dream means, only she knows. Whether or not it's some sort of memory, or whether it's a crush, or whether it's just a random person that entered her dream, only she knows that. Why don't you ask her?
Oh, but what if like she'll probably just skirt around it, or she probably won't even know what I'm talking about.
She won't know what you're talking about, but you can tell her what you heard.
Does she stay in a separate room?
Yeah.
And you went into the room, or just put your ear against the wall?
Actually, the door was open, so I just kind of stood out in the hall.
Yeah, you said you heard something going on. You checked on her, and you heard her talking about your boyfriend.
But
talk about it.
She was moaning in a sexual way?
It seems so.
There's really two moans. There's the moan where...
the dentist.
There's the dental moan.
Yeah.
That's my moan.
Oh, I know. You're good at it.
And then there's the... let me give you a little taste of my dental moan. Ah! 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 I like when they talk to you. Your mouth is wide open, and they have like 3 arms and a foot in there, and they go, "So how long have you been in radio?" Yeah, Dentists must be able to talk to their kids, though. I mean, think about it. I mean, they must be able to have complete conversations.
With little babies?
Yeah, with like a two-year-old.
Sure.
All right, so she's shouting out Vaughn's name.
Right.
Yeah, Sasha, I don't think we can say anything beyond talk to her. Really.
But do you think that will bring up, like, issues that...
No.
Is she good-looking?
She's decent, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Has Vaughn ever spoken of her?
Oh, no, not like that, no.
Does she have a boyfriend?
No.
Mm-hmm. Is she into guys?
Yeah, she is.
Is she really into guys?
As opposed to not being really into guys,
Does she act out a lot?
Oh, no, she's not, like, flirtatious or anything like that.
She's not impulsive.
No.
Not the type to have a few beers and jump on somebody.
No, she just falls asleep when she gets drunk.
Was there any indication that she likes Vaughn before this?
Well, that's the thing. Like, he hangs out a lot with us.
Yeah.
We're, like, here, and she has to be with us when we hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's always, like, on the couch with us, or, like...
All right, so you think she has a crush on him, and that's fine.
She probably does.
Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, this happens every day in every town.
Yeah.
Everybody gets, especially if there's 2 roommates, whether they're 2 females or 2 males, and somebody brings home somebody who's attractive, and they start spending time in the person's house, in their living room, socializing, drinking beer and whatnot, there's always a little spark there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all necessarily because they're trying to steal away your boyfriend or your girlfriend. It's that
it's proximity.
You're single, you're horny, and here's someone of the opposite sex who's attractive, single and horny, or not single and horny, but at least horny, and they're sitting around in your living room, and then you go to bed and you hear them getting it on all night. You always have a crush on them. I mean, it happens every time. The real question is do you act on it? Well, she doesn't sound like the kind that would.
No.
So that's all right. I don't know. Why confront her? You know what I mean?
To keep the relationship on a steady course. I mean, she's worrying about
this. You just make her uncomfortable. She doesn't know it.
Talk about it.
Oh, you're going to embarrass the hell out of the poor girl.
Look, they need this on the table. Anyway, get on with the show.
Do you do it to let her know that you know?
Yes.
So that she doesn't make a move?
No. So you don't stew about it and don't ruin the relationship. If you'll feel resentful and angry and suspicious. Let's get on with the show. I'm tired of this topic.
I'm playing a hunch here, but didn't AC/DC have a lead singer named Von Scott who died?
There you go. Okay.
Oh, that was Bon? It would still work. It was still working a lot.
Maybe she spoke Spanish was her first language.
Why, what does Bon mean?
V's are pronounced B, and B's are pronounced V.
I would go more German. All right, is Loveline. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Now, if you were listening to the show last night, you heard me touting the guest who is not here tonight, who is Bobcat Goldthwait. Bob is a good friend of mine and a good friend of the show's. Bob called in and has a legitimate excuse. Bob is taping multi-episodes of Bob's big-ass show, which Drew decided should be called Bob's Pile of Show, which is a title I'm going to steal for some other project now. So Bob will not make it in tonight. Bob is going to come in next week.
Monday.
Monday. All right. So we'll give Bob a little crap and talk to him on Monday. Meanwhile, it's back to the phone.
Can I go now?
We go. Kimberly.
Hi.
Hey, you're 29.
Yeah, I just want to let you know I really like your show. I listen to it every night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's up?
My question is, my husband and I, we've been married for 10 years, and he has hypothyroidism.
Mm-hmm.
And we've dealt with it for a long time.
What do you mean you dealt with it? He should be treated.
Well, he's treated. I mean, the sex life, that's what I'm talking about.
That has nothing to do with it. If he's got a sex life problem, I mean, hypothyroidism is one of the easiest conditions to treat generally. You just replace the thyroid by a pill that your body would otherwise make.
Where do they get that thyroid?
Pill.
What?
He takes Synthroid.
And that's it. It just
it has nothing to do with his sex drive?
No.
Okay, well...
Not unless he had a congenital hypothyroidism. It was neurologically damaged from having spent months or years as a very young baby without thyroid hormone.
I don't like stuff with the word roid at the end of it.
Right.
Asteroid, thyroid, steroid, hemorrhoid. I don't like roid. It's trouble,
Okay.
What's roid mean, Drew?
I don't know. Good question.
Go look up, what is that, a suffix? Roid?
Yeah.
Go look that up. You want me to look it up?
Yeah, I'm talking.
It's going to take an hour and 45
No,
for me to look
wait,
it up.
Just get the book at least so I can look it up.
Drew is so smart. He can look stuff up in 5 minutes.
That's not. This isn't the dictionary.
Oh,
you got to start giving me the right book.
Handed Drew the white pages.
Well, look, Kimberly, tell us what's going on with his sex drive, and then we can get at that.
Okay, well,
No, that's not it either.
For Christ's sake.
Actually, none, which I've tried to deal with for a number of years.
Does he have any other medical problems besides thyroid disease?
No, not that I know of.
Does he have normal secondary sexual characteristics like hair growth and that sort of thing?
Yeah, and he seems attractive.
He has he never had any adrenal gland dysfunction. Has that ever been discussed?
No.
How long have you been married?
We've been married 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are other...
How long has this been going on?
This has been going on since after the first year we were married.
It just happened suddenly?
Yeah, suddenly. And it's been on.
Is that when his thyroid disease started?
No, he had hyperthyroidism when he was 17 or 18, and he took like a radioactive something that slowed it down and eventually stopped it. And when I met him, he was in pretty good health, and then about 8 months after we met, he started deteriorating, gaining weight and this and that. And so he went back to the doctor, and they said he had hypothyroidism and started him on Synthroid, which he's been an ongoing process throughout our marriage.
What do you mean ongoing process?
He's has had it changed as far as dosage, and he gets all the blood panels done periodically.
Yeah, but it's like it's easy as pie usually.
Well, that's what I would think, but
I mean, it's one of the easiest things to do is to dose thyroid. I mean, there are people that have strained. There are very, very unusual conditions. First of all, there are some people that don't bind the thyroid normally, or don't metabolize it the way other people do, and so may not have the bioavailable thyroid, and so it can be kind of treacherous to dose that. But he would have known that a long time ago. That would have been stabilized a long time ago. There are other endocrine deficiencies, and I think I would look into this. Does he see an endocrinologist?
He's not very good about going to the doctor.
Okay, but there can be other endocrine glands that can fail too. Like the adrenal glands can fail. Maybe his testes have failed. Maybe he's having low testosterone production.
Yeah.
I mean, he needs this is not about his thyroid. This is about what?
My whole problem is I try to talk to him about it to get him to talk to his doctor as far as
Kimberly,
what
take him to an endocrinologist, please. Okay, he needs a thorough endocrine examination to have. If there really has been a total shutdown in his libido, In a guy that age, that is I agree with you, a medical problem, but it's not his thyroid.
Well, it's been 9 years. How can you continue to blame this?
Because he's never had it evaluated even.
Yeah, I'm to the point where I don't want to have to blame anymore. I want to solve the problem.
Yeah, take him to an endocrinologist,
You got
please.
quite a threshold, though, Kimberly. 9 years. Who was in office? Ford?
That's right.
All right, put your foot down.
I've tried.
Do you understand what kind of doctor I'm asking you to get him to see?
Yes, I do.
Okay, get him in, okay? Because and this could be actually, if endocrine glands are failing, that could be quite serious for him. And treatable, highly treatable.
How many doctors out there you think have the last name Bombay?
One.
Just from Bewitched?
Yes.
I was just going to think it'd be funny if you were Dr. Bombay. And they were,
Vinny Boom Bots?
they were paging you over the intercom, calling Dr. Bombay. Missy,
Yeah.
you're 20.
Yes, I am.
All right, then.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Man.
Okay.
It's taken 3 days
To get on this show.
to get on this show. You are highly in demand.
Thank you.
You're worth the wait.
No.
Right, I guess my little motivational speech at the end of last night's show has really rallied the troops.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has. But on to the problem. My boyfriend, we're both in school. We're both in college. And, we don't do drugs or anything. Well, he doesn't. He's the problem. He doesn't do drugs. He drinks occasionally. But that's not the problem. He plays in a band in his spare time. He plays percussion like bongos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it gets really, really intense while he's playing. I mean, he's like straining, And then after the set, when he goes to urinate, there's a little bit of blood in it.
Is it blood or is it brown?
It's blood.
How does he know it's blood?
Well, he's told me. I personally have never seen it, and he's asleep right now.
What's the difference between blood and brown?
It all seems kind of icky to me.
Here's you guys are sort of challenging my medical acumen tonight, but here's what occurs to me, is that there is a potential to actually cause breakup of red blood cells from constant trauma of the beating of a bongo drum. Soldiers would get this after very long hikes where they actually cause what's called hemolysis. Mm-hmm. And the blood cells burst apart and they come out as hemoglobin in the urine.
Mm-hmm. And, you mean, but wouldn't like a marathon runner get this?
They can, but that's different than actual peeing blood, which he also could be doing, because excessive activity can sometimes cause people. It's usually a jarring activity like running, and cause people to break blood vessels in the kidney.
Yeah, but when they're
kidney stones, there can be tumors along the kidney tract too that can sort of be stimulated to bleed during excessive activity.
He plays the bongos and he doesn't smoke weed?
No.
Well, he's the only.
It's amazing, huh?
He's the only bongo player in North America that doesn't smoke weed.
And look what happens to him.
We'll see.
God's
we
punishing
used
him.
to, but then we had to start taking life seriously and everything. It was only maybe about our senior year, maybe.
All right, but look, Missy, he's got to see a doctor. It could be hemolysis. Mm-hmm. It could be a growth along the urogenital tract, like the kidneys or bladder. It could be a stone. It could be nothing. But I'm worried particularly about the hemolysis.
Listen, I've peed blood before, and the doctor told me it was too much jumping around.
I'm not even sure this is blood. This may be hemoglobin, which is busted apart red cells.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's blood. He's jumping around. He's vibrating.
He's doing this, and in the fingertips, the blood can actually get pulverized. Oh. And then it comes back and gets excreted in the urine.
Blubbaloo!
Would it have anything? I mean, he's a really small guy, too. He's a really little guy.
No, but it really needs more evaluation. It is very important, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot.
Because you wonder why he's so prone to hemolysis.
Do they cover, what kind of music do they play?
Just anything from tribal to anything anybody's playing at the time. Mm-hmm. He just goes off.
Is he a white guy?
Yeah. Just the littlest white guy you've probably ever seen in your life. And he just goes
white
off.
Guy.
That's nice.
It's crazy.
That's great. So it's almost like having like a mascot rather than a boyfriend.
It's great. But
you're lucky he's asleep, Missy. I'm sorry.
All right.
If you could only hear this.
Thanks.
All right.
All right, bye.
Good luck with that.
Thank you for being concerned about him anyway.
Mike.
Yeah.
You're 21.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, me and my wife we're expecting a baby on the 4th of July. And we were at our Lamaze meeting the other night.
Oh,
and
it's got to be hell for you, Mike. How hellish is that?
I love it. It's cool. It's my first child, so she's got 2 others.
Let me tell you what this Lamaze is. It's probably a room, 15 women,
Yeah.
And 15 guys pretending to care.
Yeah.
Bulls game's on. They're going insane.
Yeah, actually, that happened last week or the week before that. The Lakers game was on. Everybody's going nuts during break. They ran out to the truck and turned on the radio.
Don't they have a TV set up there?
No, actually, the only TV set we had was when we were watching the birth of the women.
No.
All right, so Mike,
They really need one of those TV sets up at the Lamaze class like they have up at the bar, one in each corner.
Yeah.
Get the satellite going, have the Bulls game going over here, have the NHL playoffs going over there. The guys aren't doing anything.
Would you actually have to set a bar up at one end of the room?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if the guys should be getting drunk.
Okay.
But it's certainly like a Miss Pac-Man game or something, and maybe some beer nuts or something.
Yeah.
All right,
'Cause
Mike.
you're not doing anything, right?
Well,
You just say push.
listen to the lady talk a little bit, and that's about it.
Where's the dictionary?
I don't know where the dictionary is. Mike, what do you do in these classes?
Well, we sit there for about 2 hours and listen to a lady talk about this, that, and the other thing about birth, and then we've got to practice our breathing exercises.
Right.
And they teach us to he, like that and stuff.
And are you doing that?
Yeah.
Oh. And are you looking over at some guy wearing a flannel shirt and a pair of boots next to you who's got a smile on his face?
No.
It's not embarrassing?
I hope not. If I ever meet up with something like that, I don't know what I'd do.
All right, so you've not been spared the humiliation of Lamaze.
No.
I really think this was cooked up by an angry lesbian gynecologist about 30 years ago just to humiliate men.
Yeah, it could have been.
Let me tell you the theory behind this Lamaze, even though I have no experience with it personally. I get the feeling, here's what, it's an unspoken in Lamaze, but here it is, Drew. We're going through all this pain and all this discomfort.
You're going to join us.
You know what? You're getting screwed too, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way you're going to sit around and tilt beers and watch TV while my feet are bloated. I got some kind of discharge. My belly's out to here. I got a zit on my back. You're doing this too. You're going to be miserable with me. Now, what they don't realize is the man is miserable for the next 18 years after the birth. That's where he pays the fiddler slowly. Women pay it all in one bunch, but men pay it over the course of years.
Yep.
Mike, did you have a question in there somewhere?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
The question was, circumcision came up.
Yeah.
And my wife is totally against it. In fact, my 4-year-old stepson is uncircumcised. I feel that it's cleaner and, all that stuff. She feels that God put it there, it shouldn't be taken away.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm kind of asking your guys' medical opinion on this, whether or not, it is actually a cleaner way to go
All right.
to have it circumcised.
You want to do yeah, okay, quickly.
Yes.
This is one of the only countries in the world where circumcision is the routine practice. So
Right.
it's not...
But it is the best country in the world, so maybe there's something to this.
All right. Some of the argument in favor of it is that there are apparently no cases of penile cancer in circumcised men. And penile cancer is a very rare form of cancer anyway. That indeed there are some issues of cleanliness and irritation and maybe somewhat easier to take care of, that sort of thing. But by and large, there's no compelling medical reason for it that we know of. There's controversy about it. They do use anesthetic now, oftentimes when they
do.
It's being advocated anyway.
Topical?
I don't know how they achieve it, but they get some anesthetic going, and many people have had that done without any undue damage to their psyche. So it's personal choice.
To the best of our knowledge.
All things being equal, it looks to be a little better without the foreskin. However, the foreskin defendants will tell you that all the complications that have occurred from people having their foreskins removed, scarring and various things.
Yeah. It's really a coin toss. Heads it stays, tails it goes.
Mm.
I mean, it's really hard to make a compelling argument one way or the other, although... the ultimate argument is, in a certain sense, Drew, that this is how he is. I mean, one procedure involves a procedure, and the other involves nothing.
Yeah.
So that, to me, it's sort of split down the middle, but it's not as if, one person wants to cut it off and the other person wants to add some on.
Yeah.
It's just sort of leave him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd go with the wife on this one. Let's leave him alone. That's no big deal. Guys want their son's penis to look like their penis.
Well, they want to look like everybody, so the kids doesn't feel funny about it.
Yeah, but don't you think and I don't know what the statistics are, and 20 years ago it was different in this country, but don't you think by the time this kid gets in junior high 15 years from now, that, I don't know what the percentage will be, but might it be closer to 50-50?
Of circumcised versus un?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What do you think it was in this country 40 years ago? It was probably 10% uncircumcised, or what have you.
That, yeah.
But don't you think it's inching up closer to 50-50?
I don't know the data, but it may well be.
Okay. Drew?
Yeah.
Why don't we sell the next call before we go to
Why
break?
don't you read what this says about Jimmy there?
Jimmy's 22. When he becomes hard, his penis won't come out of its tube thing. Oh, this could be a reason for circumcision. Drew.
Oh, jeez.
Where's your dictionary, Drew?
I'm just asking Lisa for that.
Oh, really? Well, you got her running all over the place tonight. All right, you ready to rock and roll here, Drew?
Yeah, let's go.
What's that, line 5? Jimmy,
Yeah,
you're 22.
I am 22. I love your show.
Thank you.
You guys are just the greatest.
Thank you. What's going on with the peni?
Well, listen, ever since I saw the show, I always wanted to call and ask this question because it's always worried me, right? Like, okay, before I ever have sex or oral sex or anything, I have to, like, take the head of my penis out because once I get erect, it won't come out.
You are uncircumcised.
Okay.
Right?
Is that all it is?
Is that right?
Yeah, probably. I've never known.
How would you,
Yeah, I'll give it another 10 years.
before he decides whether he is?
Yeah, let's not push the lad. You know what I mean? You don't want him to commit to a penis style so early in life.
Yes.
You don't know if you're circumcised or not?
I guess I'm just stupid.
You ever been in a locker room?
Yeah.
Do you?
See, yeah. So other guys, their heads are out, you know?
Right, that's the difference between circumcised and uncircumcised.
I am uncircumcised.
In this show, we gotta begin with first principles on this show.
Okay.
Foreskin is that thing that hangs over your head, and that's what gets cut off in a circumcision.
Okay.
Okay.
It's sort of like a friar. You know, like when somebody becomes a monk or something.
Like Bono wears that hood all the time.
When the hood is up, that would be uncircumcised,
No.
and then when you pull the hood down, that would be circumcised.
Right.
If you shaved your head.
But, Jimmy, you do bring up an interesting point, and this is one of the things that can happen if you are not circumcised, is you can get stenosis of the tip of that thing, so it makes it difficult for the head to come through, because it narrows a little bit when it gets irritated or cracks. You know,
Yes, exactly, and it hurts.
yeah, you get some irritation and stuff over there, and it'll actually rip if you try to pull it out, and then it'll scar down more.
It's sort of like, you know, sometimes you put on a pair of boots and then you try to pull your sweatpants on up over them.
Exactly.
That's what goes on.
So what can I do to...
You can get circumcised.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
please, hold on a second. Do you have an unusually large head on your penis?
No.
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 Very honest to you, Jimmy.
He's got the narrow tip.
I know, but
hood.
Drew, if a native in Africa can stuff a wooden plate under his lip and get it to extend out farther than an Olympic diving board, don't you think he could stretch the skin on the end of his penis a couple of millimeters?
No, now see, if I do it before I get erect, I'm fine. I just have to do it before I get erect.
I understand, but he's wondering if you can open it up, the opening a little more in some way.
Can't you train it?
What tends to happen, what I've seen with this, is that it tends to tear and then scar down further.
Oh, really?
All right. Don't you think if he worked in enough vitamin E and sort of
aloe?
And
what is your cream of choice these days?
I'm a dry man. I'm not a lube guy.
Shocked. How come? How do you avoid dermatitis? I mean, your hands there all the time.
It's a very good question. I use a golf glove.
Oh, okay.
That's how I keep my penis so supple, Drew. But thank you for asking. Jimmy.
What do I do, Drew?
All right, listen to me. Forget about Drew.
Okay.
Here's what I would do. I would try to manipulate that opening so that I could stretch it out so it would be a larger opening.
He means work it out constantly.
Yeah. Okay, now what should I do, Drew?
I think that
Drew wants you to get circumcised, you jackass.
and it's not a horrible idea that I'm giving you, but I don't think it will work. So, you know.
You don't think so? What about this? What about getting your penis in different states of erection, like sort of semi-leathery, and then put a little vitamin E on the end and practice sort of working it over it? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm 22. My other thing is, the size it is now, is that the way it's going to be for the rest of the life?
No, it'll get smaller.
That's the way it's going to be.
Okay.
Why, is there some problem?
No. Well, it's small, right, Jimmy?
What?
It's small, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
That's all right. Okay. Don't worry. Lube up and work out. You got to stretch your thing out. You know, it's like, you know when you put a T-shirt on, it's too small, so you sort of pull this way and you yank that way, and before you know it hangs just right? That's what he has to do.
All right.
Are you looking up the word roid?
Yeah, it's not in the usual places, so I'm looking through how this dictionary...
Because it's weird that asteroid, hemorrhoid, steroid...
It may not really mean anything. We'll see. It's got to have some...
All right, you keep looking. Fernando.
Yeah.
You're 16.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Well, first I was curious on how you and Dr. Drew met.
First date, you mean? We were set up.
It's a long story. We didn't really meet, but we sort of met on the TV set. Actually in the makeup room on the TV set, and they told us, here's Adam, here's Drew, work your relationship out, we're turning the cameras on in an hour.
Well, Ricky Rackman, he used to host this show, passed on doing Loveline, the TV show. They said to Drew, do you know anyone else who you think you could work with? For some reason, he mentioned me because he knew my work from the K-Rock morning show, and they just sort of put us together. And then I got onto the radio show just a little bit later. But I'd listened to Drew for many years.
How weird is that? How weird is that?
I'd be working, you know...
That's got to be so bizarre for you.
Sometimes when I used to do construction, I would, if I was working in a business that was open during the day, I would have to work, you know, from 8 o'clock at night till 4:30 in the morning or something, because obviously I couldn't be making a mess while people were trying to use the business. And I remember very clearly a few nights having Loveline tuned in and going about my miserable way.
How weird is that now that it'll be here every night? That they'll be stuck in a relationship with me.
I got over it. Fernando?
Yeah.
Not
Is that your question?
Unfortunate for you.
No, actually my question was for Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
Is it possible for someone to be completely immune to, like, any disease that doesn't affect your immune system?
Pardon me?
Fernando, you a biology major?
No.
Ask that question again, but listen to the words that come out of your mouth.
Okay. Is it possible for anyone to be immune to, like...
Infection?
No, to, like, any disease other than the ones that affect your immune system? Like HIV.
Could you be immune to HIV?
No, could you be immune to any like the flu virus and...
Oh, yes, you can gain immune. People have differing degrees of immunity and resistance to various organisms, whether it's bacteria or virus. And some of it has to do with what viruses your immune system has been exposed to in the past, and some of it has to do with your innate biochemistry and the barriers in your body. What kind of antibody response is there, say, in the lining of your nose to prevent certain viruses from penetrating?
I have no idea what this question is, and I don't think Fernando does either, but I don't think he's satisfied with that answer.
That's why I'm trying to get the question out of him. What is he worried about?
What do you mean any disease, immune disease that attacks your immune system?
Well, no. See, this is what I'm trying to get solved. Like, I'm 16 right now, and so far I've can only remember about 3 times that I've gotten really sick
with viruses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are. Listen, I have 5-year-old triplets. Mm-hmm. One of and so whenever a virus gets into our house, everybody gets sick. My one son, we don't even know he's sick until we see him picking his lip. That triggers us to check his temperature, and that means his temperature's over 104, and he's better the next day. My other son, temperature goes to 99 immediately, and he looks like he's going to die, and he's sick for a week. And my daughter doesn't get anything. So it affects different people differently.
All right, Fernando?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Consider yourself fortunate.
That's all. What do you want us to say? What are you looking for?
No, I'm just curious because like my family keeps saying I got like some sort of like hyperimmune system. I can take in germs the size of turtles and nothing will happen.
Yeah, but they're also into that Santeria, right?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Stay in school. Learn that biology. Don't fail out of it like I did.
I already failed it.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
yeah.
I'm shocked.
I'm flabbergasted. Wow. Can you imagine Fernando failing biology?
No, I can't do it.
The temerity of that
This is a
teacher.
bogus call.
Well, actually, it's just that I don't really do any of the work.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. I thought you were in some sort of advanced program at this point, getting set to go to college. You're not going to some prep school?
No.
No.
I went to a normal high school. Well,
All right. So what'd they do? When you failed out of biology, they put you in science class?
No, actually, I failed it this year, so I don't know,
Oh, okay.
what they're going to do to me next year.
All right. Learn some carpentry skills, Fernando.
Well, I act.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine then.
Oh boy, Adam. I went to I'm still looking up roids here for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to your favorite word. I went to hemorrhoid,
Mm-hmm.
and that's from the word hemarus, flowing with blood from hemo, heme, and rain to flow. So
Hemo, like blood?
yeah, the roid just sort of they don't even know where that came from evidently on this one.
Well, maybe it doesn't mean anything.
Steroid.
There's so many different words that are so bizarre. Is asteroid and hemorrhoid the same roid? It's spelled the same way?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but we have such great listeners. I swear we'll have a linguist out there. We'll call in.
Please,
Yeah.
our show.
Oh
We
yeah.
barely speak
oh,
English.
Yes.
We'll get Fernando's cousin calling in.
But you don't realize we have a silent group out there. We really do.
Yeah, they're sleeping.
Well,
Sarah,
Yes,
you're 15.
yeah.
What's going on?
Well, see, my friends tell me, like girlfriends and guy friends, feel the need to inform me that I flirt with everybody, shamelessly. I've never even tried to flirt with anybody in my life because I know people tell me I do it anyway. It's like a personality. My personality must be flirty or something. But, like, my sister thinks that it's going to get me into trouble later in my life. And she feels I need to learn, like, when I'm saying things that are flirty and stuff.
what do you get from flirting? How does it make you feel?
I don't know because I never tried to do it. Like, that's just who I am.
Do you drink?
Yes.
You do? All right. You're going to get in trouble. Let me explain something. 15, 16, flirting and beer, that is a bad combination. Flirt and booze is trouble. Let me explain something, Drew.
Yeah.
Flirt and booze, I write it out on the chalkboard if I was teaching class. Flirt, booze, equal, rape.
Does your dad really idealize you? You're sort of a princess for him?
No.
Wait.
I don't think so.
Do you deal with him in the same way you deal with other men?
I don't think so, no.
Do you know your dad?
Yeah.
Okay. He lives with you? You get along fine? Never did anything weird to you?
No.
And, well, part of it is you have that squeaky voice. So, I mean, you could yell a racial epithet and people think you were flirting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think she just needs that validation and she's used to controlling men in that way and that's how she relates to men. There's some reason for it and we can't get at it.
All right. Sarah?
Be careful.
Don't drink and flirt. It's like drinking and driving, drinking and flirting for a 15-year-old girl. It's going to lead to trouble.
Okay.
You're going to be looking at the bad paneling on top of some guy's van parked down by the lake and just crying your eyes out.
Try not to be anything other than a person talking to another person when you talk to men. Don't sexualize the encounter. Don't idealize the encounter. Just stay on the people level.
Now, here's my feeling. If enough people tell you you're doing something or you are something, then you are.
Yeah.
If enough people call you an a-hole, if enough people call you a nice guy, whatever it is enough people call you, whatever it is they say you're doing it. That's it. If your sister's just telling you, maybe not. But if everyone else and your sister is, you're doing it. Okay, Drew.
What?
I'm going to sell this next call. We'll go to break.
All right.
Shauna, she's 23. Her mom dates married men. Then cries on Shauna's shoulder.
And she's sick of it. Shauna, that is.
Yeah.
It's a good call.
Yeah, all right. yeah, it is, right?
Yes.
Okay. We'll be back. Phone number for Loveline, 1-800-LOVE 191. I'm Adam. That'd be Drew. Shauna,
Yeah?
you're 23.
Yeah.
You're on Loveline.
Hi.
Hi.
I love your guys' show.
Thanks. How old's your mom?
45-ish.
And she dates
44.
only married men?
Pretty much.
How many times has this happened?
4 or 5 times.
And then how does it come back to you?
Well, she brings him to the house. We meet him. Well, I do. Me and my.
And you know he's married?
Oh, yes.
Doesn't that piss you off
Well,
already?
he brings his wife.
That's nice.
Oh, no,
His
he
kids.
doesn't bring his wife.
So aren't you already pissed at the guy?
Yeah, because
Yeah. What do you mean, yeah? He's
I know
a
what's gonna happen.
scumbag.
I'm not, I'm not stupid. I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but he is a scumbag.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah, he,
Why don't you make it known what you think of these guys?
Well, by the way, wait a minute.
don't really
Hold
know
on a
them.
second. If you're cheating on your wife, do you swing by the house and meet the woman you're cheating with, daughter? Hey, hi,
Have
I'm
dinner?
Herb Edelman. I sell insurance. I'll be banging your mom in the next room. If we could have about 20 minutes of quiet time, I'd appreciate that. And then I got to get back to the wife. Again, Shauna, was it? Nice meeting you. Hey, if you ever need insurance, what is that? Aren't they supposed to sneak away to a motel somewhere?
well, see, the thing is, the last guy that she married, his wife was dying, and they were together, my mom and him. And then
That's nice.
Now, what happened when the wife died?
they got married, and of course, his children hated her.
Uh,
And my mom, she's a very good mom. She's nice. She's the nicest lady you're ever going to meet. And the thing is, these men just...
so was her dad an alcoholic?
My dad?
Her dad.
No. Oh, no.
What was the deal with her dad?
Nothing. Catholic. Normal. Her parents have been married for 50 years, I think.
God, imagine how much you would hate the new mom if your dad
Oh, yeah.
was banging around with her while your mom was dying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just an ongoing battle.
Okay, so your mom has been divorced from this guy for how long?
Oh, this was kind of odd. They got married, and then he cheated on her a year later.
Imagine
What a
that.
surprise.
Yeah.
Shocking.
You think he would have got out of his system, wouldn't you, Drew? Like he just wrung the cheat gene out of him or purged?
No, she would fix him.
Oh.
She would just excavate it from him.
Oh, yeah, you think. Boy, we don't know anything about psychology. We're completely bamboozled.
So, Shauna.
But they're not yet divorced, and they've been married like 3 years. So they've been married for the last 2 years, not living together, dating other people.
All right.
She's been...
They've been living together? Not living together.
No, not living
Not
together.
living together.
She's been dating another guy that is married, and things came down with that, and I'm just sick of being there. And
Now,
I don't know what to say to her.
what does she say
I feel
when?
like I'm the mom, that's
Yeah, which is not right. What does she say when these guys, as they inevitably do, dump her?
She's like, well, so and so left, and he's going back to his wife, and I'm like, yeah, I try not to be involved with her relationship.
All right, Shauna, well, let's turn the tables here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you living at home at 23?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. No, I must not have made that clear. No, I'm married, and I have 2 children.
Why do you
Oh,
listen
you
to
do?
this?
Because you
I live
keep
with
saying
my
she
husband.
brings him home, and then
Oh.
you're there.
Yeah, like over to her house. She's like, well, so-and-so wants to come out to dinner with us, and I'm like...
And why don't you say no? Shauna, why don't you set down some limits here? How old are your kids?
I have a 3.5 and a 3-month-old.
All right. When your 3.5-year-old starts wanting to watch TV and eat Snickers
Gravel.
bars, yeah, eat gravel. What do you tell him?
Tell my daughter
Yeah.
who that is.
No.
Whatever his name is.
Hold on. Well, Shauna,
I missed what you said.
I know. Hold on. We'll do. I'll give the appropriate answer. Hold on a second. Let me just set you up. Would you, Drew?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom wants to go out with us for dinner with these cheating cats. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to
Why
say.
don't you say no? Why don't you set some limits with this woman? In fact, how old are your kids?
2 and 3.5.
And the 3.5-year-old, what do you do when he or she wants to eat gravel and Snickers bars and watch TV and you don't want them to?
Well, naturally, I tell them that that's not appropriate and that they can't do it.
Thank you.
You see how easy that was, Shauna?
I got that, but I missed what you said.
That's all right.
Said,
But, you got to deal with your mom the same way.
let's see,
She's behaving like a 3-year-old. And you need to yank her chain a little bit, bring her back into reality.
She's got a 43-year-old vagina and a 3-year-old brain.
It's not, you're not being non-empathic, you're not being unloving or rejecting, you're just bringing a little piece of reality to bear. It might help her.
Hey, listen, everybody. It's all right to set limits for loved ones. You know what I mean? That's part of being a loved one, isn't it, Drew?
It's some of the hardest part.
It is?
Yes.
Oh.
How easy it is to just give in and make them happy. What the hell?
Right. Lisa,
Yes,
you're 35.
yes.
What's going on with your ass?
I guess not a lot. Question, I have two. One, what is a G-spot?
It's a bundle of nerves just on the underside of sort of. If you were to reach your fingers inside someone's vagina and press up, that would be where it is.
Okay.
It's sort of the opposite, the underside of the clitoris. In a way.
And that's where they claim it is.
Yeah.
It's
This
inside, though.
Grafenberg.
It is inside.
Well, but it's in the front. It's not really inside. It's reached from the inside.
I bet this Grafenberg rarely got laid, if at all. Yet he's the one who's going to give us the map to the G-spot.
Right. Okay, I just recently broke up with someone, and we had a very short relationship, 6 weeks, but it was very, very loving, caring, and extremely passionate.
Sure.
And I've had a lot of sexual experience.
Listen, any relationship, by the way, that ended at 6 months would be described as extremely passionate.
It was 6 weeks.
You know what I mean? Or, sorry, 6 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, any relationship, ones that go 3 years, if you could turn back the calendar and get to the 6 week mark, it would be described as very passionate. So that's all you do for 6 weeks.
Well, he decided he wanted to go back to his ex-girlfriend, and I said, okay, you're gone. See ya.
Right.
But my question is, okay, he's the first person who has seemed to find this.
How did he find it?
He just did.
With what?
With his penis.
Okay. And what happened that let you know that he was finding that?
Well, I assume that that's what it was because it was very unusual. The feelings that I got were
Look at
very
his penis.
unusual.
And
Does his penis have a bend in it?
Well, you know what? He's diabetic.
Did he have a pump?
He has a pump.
Ooh.
He also, we've tried Viagra.
Why doesn't he have Viagra if he has a pump?
Well, he had the pump, and he didn't want to deal with that. He wanted to take Viagra and see what that would do.
Where's he keeping the pump?
Well, he's got it with him now because I'm not here anymore.
Let me try to ask a question and get the answer I'm looking for.
Okay.
Is the pump under his bed or is it in his scrotum sac?
No, it's a manual pump that he would use.
Put on top of the penis.
Yeah,
To get
puts
things
it
going.
on there and use
So
it.
that's not the kind of pump we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean like a suction device?
Yeah. Yeah. With a ring on the base of the
You
penis.
got it.
And then you snap that ring on there?
Yes.
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 Yes. But
And then you twist your penis into the shape of a dachshund? That's always good for kids' parties. You pump up the penis, you get it fully erect, and then you put it in the shape of like a Tyrannosaurus.
Minnie Mouse.
And a Minnie Mouse. And then you give them out to the kids. That's lovely.
don't laugh. I want an answer.
So what happened? What was it did for you?
I was on top, and he got me usually very excited prior to intercourse anyway.
I tell you, these diabetics, they got to overcompensate.
Yeah, well,
They work overtime, right?
He did, but he got in a certain position, and it was just like he didn't even have to move. Okay, and then I had.
Are you sure you weren't just having an orgasm during intercourse? You never had that before?
No, I've had orgasms.
During intercourse?
Yes.
Well, how do you explain this? Was his penis? Does it jog? Is it oddly shaped?
What happens is, as the time goes by after he's used the pump, it does start to lose. It doesn't hold the penis. It's not completely hard.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that has something to do with it or not.
All right, but listen, Lisa.
Yeah.
Go get another guy, get the penis, get in the same position, and do whatever you were doing.
That's what I want to know.
All right. Well,
can that happen?
Yes,
Can I do that?
Yes, you can do that. We release you, yes, to be able to do that again.
we give you the right to have another orgasm via the G-spot.
Go quickly to
What
that.
the hell kind of retarded question is that?
Fine.
I mean, how are we supposed to know? The guy didn't even do anything. He just held his penis in place.
Fine.
Ed?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I have an answer to your question about hemorrhoids and asteroids.
See, told you.
Good.
Yeah, what you're actually looking for is the OID suffix, which means resembling or like.
Yeah.
So an asteroid is...
Star-like.
Oh, like humanoid?
It's like a planet, yeah. And you know what, Adam?
An asteroid is star-like.
I
Asteroid
went
is
to junior
star.
college,
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
You went to junior college?
and I know that.
But they threw your ass right out for knowing too much, right?
I graduated and moved on
Wow, a very rare example.
in 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, shocked.
What happened? Why were you in junior college in the first
Financial
place?
reasons.
It saves money.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
Adam, I told you.
But they ran you out of there on a donkey, right? We don't need your kind in here. You
But,
troublemakers.
I guess I'm just the silent Loveline listeners.
Yes.
Where are you at now? You at a 4-year university?
Yeah, I'm going to graduate next semester.
Where are you?
San Francisco State.
Okay.
And when you...
Where are you hearing us, by the way, right now?
What?
What's channel you're hearing us on right now?
I'm actually at home with my parents for the summer.
Here. Down here.
So I'm listening to
Okay.
K-Rock.
All right, okay.
98 Rock
How's that?
Where's your parents live?
up in Sacramento.
Oh, yeah, 98 Rock out in Sacramento. Okay,
All right.
Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye.
All right, so roid means like.
Yeah.
So, asteroid, aster is star, and the ham. Okay, all right. And I'm going to work out some other roids. Humanoid, like I said, there's a good one. But it's not the roid, it's the oid.
Yes.
All right, we'll be back.
Loveline, be right back in a minute. 94.7 NRK.
Puff and Page, all right. True? I think we may be the next Puff and Page. All right, we're going to take a little 10-second Puff and Page break, and we'll be right back.
This is Loveline on
radio
station. NRK heaven, Portland, New Rock. New Rock Alternative. New Rock Alternative. New Rock Alternative. At 94.7 NRK.
Loveline. I'm Ace Rockola. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number, 1-800-LOVE-191. That Led Zeppelin's a great rock band. And all the crap that's out now, some of it's good. But you know what? It's been 20, 25 years now. It's not really gotten any better. I don't think. I don't want to sound like an old-timer, but if you go back and listen, well, go listen to, like, Houses of the Holy or something. The greatest riffs ever.
You're sounding like some kind of a...
I do?
I expect to see you on a pier somewhere with a long beard.
Isn't Led Zeppelin probably the just best rock band ever? And is there anyone doing anything... Is there anyone doing anything that they didn't do 25 years ago a lot better?
You're going to start crying, aren't you?
No. Hey, I just bought my first Led Zeppelin album like 3 months ago.
Wow.
They used to play them so much on the radio. I figure, what do I need a CD for? Tiffany.
They didn't have CDs when they were played on the radio. 8-track.
That's true. Tiffany?
Yes?
You're 23.
25.
Oh. You know what I like about 8-track? How it stopped in the middle of one song and then it would flip.
No, never listened to 8-track.
That's a nice piece of technology.
I'm into CDs, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, Tiffany?
I just had a comment. Earlier, you had a young man call in. His wife was expecting, and you guys were saying...
I don't say you guys.
You know, the women just have it so easy. We just, push the baby out, and it's all done, and the
Tiffany,
guys have it so hard for the next 18 years.
Tiffany, I have triplets, and I know how hard my wife is.
I have 3 kids.
Yes.
No.
So, yeah.
You're 23. I could not imagine that.
No.
Yeah, I'm the one that wipes all the dirty butts and the runny noses. And
Listen.
Here's what people don't know. Let me tell you something. Is that, and this is for all the men to try to appreciate, and women that are going to have kids to acknowledge or expect, that the children are connected to mom so intensely and in such a focused way that it's almost an overwhelming emotional experience just being around your child all day, because they're just, it's almost like you have some sort of intravenous connection where they just pull the life force right out of you. And I watch this happen to moms. It doesn't happen that quite so much to dad. Or dad can kind of move in and out and disconnect. But mom is always just totally connected.
That's true.
And it is exhausting, and it's phenomenal. It would kill any man to be connected like that for a long period of time.
Even a gay man?
Even.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
It's a lot of connection.
And at 23 to have 3 kids, God bless you. I hope you're married?
Yeah, I'm married.
Staying married?
Married for 5 years.
Since you were 18.
Been with him for
All right.
10 years.
Here's what. From now on, you're married to him forever, no matter what. No matter what happens, you're married to him forever.
Definitely.
On behalf of your kids.
I just couldn't imagine. I could not imagine. I couldn't imagine having kids until I just had a ton of money to throw at them.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Yes, I need like nannies and diaper services. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get up at 4 in the morning and go breastfeed. Do you have to breastfeed us again?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh,
that's part of the Lamont training.
That's smart. Mike and I have been practicing. All right, Tiffany. Well, listen, I never said a woman just squirts out the kid. I said it was painful.
Yes.
Okay.
It's painful, but it's good, though.
All right.
It's a good thing.
All right, 3's enough now,
I just
right?
had to, let you guys hear my comment.
I understand.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
This sort of falls under that category that you always complain about when people are watching comedy or listening to comedy, is that it's comedy. When you speak. Remember, people take this stuff very seriously, Adam, so watch your...
I'm going to watch myself. Stacy.
Hello.
You're 27.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call.
It is our pleasure.
Sorry, it's like 1 in the morning here. I guess my question is for Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
I've been diagnosed with arthritis in my lower lumbar curve, and I've been seeing an orthopedic specialist for about 4 years.
Do you have scoliosis or something?
No.
Did you injure your back?
Well, yeah, I was in a car accident about 8 years ago.
And injured your low back?
Yeah. Well, at the time, I was not aware of an injury.
But you developed some problems since, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
And I've been seeing an orthopedic specialist, and he basically, for the same, all along, I've been taking medication.
What medicine?
Naproxen.
Uh-huh.
And he's been telling me to do different exercises to strengthen different muscles and stuff. And I haven't seen any improvement. And the naproxen, all it really does is hurt my stomach.
Sure.
So several people have recommended that I go to see a chiropractor.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I just want your opinion.
I'm very comfortable.
Drew doesn't like chiropractors because he thinks they're not real doctors.
No, I think for back pain, it's an excellent idea. Especially since you've already had the benefit of an orthopedic consultation. I mean,
but listen,
why not try
you need an oriental massage. That's what you need. I've been to 100 chiropractors. Actually, I've been to 2. But here's what a chiropractor does. He tells you why everything's out of alignment, and then he goes through a painful procedure of aligning you, and you feel like $1 million for about 20 minutes, and by the time you get to your car, you start cramping up, and then you go into a seizure on the ride home. And then you're worse the next day.
That's not true. They tend to do a very good job.
No, I don't know. Listen, here, like a blowjob and a jacuzzi, you'll never feel better.
But this whole situation is a little suspect. How long have you had the back pain?
About 6 years.
6 years of back pain. On naproxen the entire time?
No, for about 4.
You've been taking anything else besides naproxen? Take any pain medication?
Jizzaroff, I think.
I just aspirin or...
You don't take any Vicodin or codeine or anything like that?
No.
Have you been depressed at all?
No.
What's this Naproxen?
Naproxen is anti-inflammatory. Aleve, same thing.
It's awful on my stomach.
I like those...
There's a new one called Arthrotec that's a naproxen-like drug combined with something to protect the stomach. If you need to stay on it longer, it's very effective.
I love all those Aleve commercials or any pain medication commercial because they have to show... It all starts off with a woman, attractive woman, but a little gray around the temples there, in her early 50s, talking about her husband and how he's got a lot of pride and he doesn't like to quit working. And then the guy's in the back, and the guy looks like Brian Dennehy, and he's making a saddle, you know? And then they show him, they show him he's whacking a horseshoe on an anvil, and then they show him like sort of stop and clinch his hand and open it up, and then they do that one where they go, if you were taking the other brand, you'd have to take this many. And then a dump truck comes in and dumps 7,000 units of this pill, or you could take just 1.5 and leave for the rest of your life.
Right. I love that.
It's great. I love any commercial where they show you potentially painful physical activities. Listen, when your back hurts, you're hip to the idea of raking leaves. You know that. You understand? We don't need to see a guy clutch his back. I like the ads when they start talking about colds and the person who's telling you has a cold.
Yeah.
The itching, the sneezing, the runny nose. Huh? It could just get a goddamn spokesmodel to tell us about your pain medication or your cold. I don't need to identify with your runny nose.
I just thinking about the role now.
I don't want to see some
listen.
ugly, nebbish bitch up there with a red nose and watery eyes.
I think you'll appreciate this.
What?
Have you noticed the niche that Kim Alexis has taken now?
Yeah, Kim Alexis, she's such a hot model. She is so good looking and right up Drew's alley.
She's got to be 45 now, too.
Drew loves this Kim Alexis because she's blonde. Drew likes the blondes. Kim Alexis she's like a supermodel, but she's sort of like super mom model.
You mean the hemorrhoid girl?
Hemorrhoid
slash douche slash...
Right.
Now, they don't show her having any of those symptoms.
No.
Yeast
That would be
infection.
horrible,
It was
wouldn't
a
it?
yeast infection.
Yes, yeast
That's
now.
it.
Yeah.
She's really filled that niche quite nicely.
I can just see her agent.
But the point is they've taken that and they've put somebody attractive and she just talks about it. They don't have her having the symptoms.
Although she did say during the
Well, what do you want
hemorrhoid...
to do? Scratch her crotch?
During the hemorrhoid spot, she goes, after my first child... By the way, I always turn the TV off whenever any commercial starts with, after my first child. Up, up! I run out of the room holding my ears because I know it's going right for the hemorrhoid. Or there's some sort of lactating thing or spotting going on. I don't want to know from any of that.
Anything that reminds Adam that women are human beings.
Yeah.
Can't stand it.
That's all I need is the
Very sad.
Yeah.
Picturing Kim Alexis, the big skid mark in her panties. I suspect that
We lost Drew on that one.
Kim Alexis is... Drew, you know what I think Kim Alexis's agent is working on? Has to be working on like an adult diaper campaign for like the year 2009.
They want to make sure she has a career going.
Okay, Kim. You're
75
You're
now,
done
Kim.
being a supermodel now? Here's your career. We start with the douche. We segue into the hemorrhoid.
Get her on the show.
Then we go into the vaginitis cream. And I see in about 5 years we unveil the adult diaper line. That then goes into the polydent spot with the teeth. Then we go into some sort of colostomy bag thing. And then we have you advertise a mortuary, and then you die. All right.
Oh, boy.
So anyway, listen, all you a-holes making commercials out there. I want to see good-looking people talking about colds. I don't want to see people sneezing and wiping their noses and talking about colds. I understand the cold concept. It's a very clear one. Drew, what are some of the symptoms of a cold?
Sneezing and runny nose.
Slow down. Let me write that down. Geniuses. Why can't they make a decent commercial? Jennifer,
Yeah?
you're 13.
Yeah. My question is it possible that if you smoke weed, that your period would come at a different time when it's not supposed to?
I suppose it's possible, but it's not real likely, I wouldn't think.
Okay.
I mean, almost like people's menstrual flows are very sensitive to lots of things.
We'll have to ask Kim Alexis.
Almost anything can. I mean, for instance, people that take medications that raise dopamine levels like heroin will stop having periods. So.
Well, because it seems kind of strange because I had my period, and then a week later, I smoked some weed, and the next day, I started my period again when I wasn't supposed to in the middle of a month.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, way off for me, and...
You might do it. I mean, like I said, it's very sensitive in many people to lots of different inputs. Sometimes just getting frightened or having an emotional stress will do it, so...
And
How much weed you smoking, sweet cheeks?
Huh? Oh, well, I've only done it 3 times and not very much, just...
That's enough.
Did you get very high one of those times?
Yeah, I did.
The last time?
The very first time I did.
Time. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Are you planning to do it some more?
Huh?
Are you planning to do this more?
Probably.
Okay.
All right, be careful, because there's overwhelming evidence coming in now about what this does to your brain development, particularly before the age of 15.
Yeah.
The stuff that I've seen that's been very compelling is on men, young males. They will shrink the right frontal lobe and really blunt a great deal of your development.
I didn't smoke any weed before the age of 18. I tried it once in like junior high.
But really, Jennifer, it is very important that you avoid that if you can.
Could you do that, Jennifer?
What?
Don't screw with your life that way. Now, weed's not going to kill you, but it just sort of, it makes you a loser. Do it when you're a little older.
Well, I was afraid to do it for like a long time, but then when I tried it and...
Like at age 10 and 11, and then?
No, like a year ago.
12.
And then when I tried it, it felt pretty cool when I got high, and I liked it. I mean, I was afraid, but then...
Why were you afraid to try it?
Because I thought it was going to screw up my body and stuff, and I was going to get sick and...
Who told you that?
My brother.
It doesn't do it all of a sudden. It does it very slow and insidiously.
Yeah. This is why, by the way, I'm looking for a different angle as a society, a different spin on the whole drug thing, because that, this is your brain, this is your brain on pot, this is what weed does to you, why do you think they call it dope? And then
that just pisses people off.
Well, people smoke weed at 13, they go, oh, well, that wasn't much.
Yeah.
And then they just keep smoking, and then before you know it, it robs you slowly, especially early. And that's what they should say. They should just be up front. Listen, smoke a joint's not going to kill you. You'll never quit the job delivering meat at the butcher shop, though.
Right.
But you'll be a loser and everything. But smoke weed, go ahead. Monica.
Yeah.
You're 19.
Yes. What's up? Actually, I have one comment before I ask my question. Actually, it is more of a question. Why is it that the two of you, every time someone says they have tattoos or piercings, you automatically bring your money out to make bets that we have a dysfunctional life?
All right, hold on, we got to gamble.
Not automatically.
I'm serious.
No, we do. We tend to look for what we would call aggressive piercing.
Because, like me, I have 2 tattoos. My first one I got was with my dad. It was like our father-daughter bonding. And people totally love it, and I don't have a dysfunctional life.
Did you guys make out that day?
Other than being a Portuguese, I mean, my life is pretty normal.
A what?
I said, other than being a Portuguese, my life is pretty normal.
Translate that.
Huh?
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
All right, let me break down that word. Porta, as in transportable, to transport. Gi, as in the uniform that a martial artist would wear. Portuguese would be someone who carried the gi or the martial arts uniform, probably to tournaments
like
and things like that.
Something.
Like if Chuck Norris had a big tournament to go to?
You call it a Portuguese.
Call it Portuguese.
I see. Okay.
Am I right, Monica?
No, that's not what it means.
Oh.
Anyway.
We're better than Dick Gautier, though, on the Liars Club. What's a Portuguese?
I'm Portuguese.
That's what I figured.
That's what we call Portuguese.
No.
All right. So, so again, we understand that piercing and tattoos are fashionable now, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Through history, at least through the 20th century, it has tended to
bikers and sailors.
Yeah, imply more antisocial quality to one's personality construct.
Well, see, I honestly didn't do it because it was fashionable when I was young.
Now we tend to look more at people that have a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
When we look for this.
I can understand when you have, all over your face. Or
yeah.
What's your tat?
I have one on my back I drew up. It's like a big splash of water, and it's got fish on it. I'm a Pisces. I have one on my arm, up on my top of my bicep, and it's like an Aztec sun. And then my dad got one when I got my first one. It's Mickey Mouse, and he's kind of slouching back, flipping the bird. It's pretty cool.
Oh, boy.
No, it is. It's great.
That's Portuguese white trash right there.
We are not.
Oh, please. Your dad is albino trash. He's so white.
Trust me, Adam, you and my dad would totally get along. He's a total...
Hey, I'm white trash, too. That's the only reason we'd get along.
Okay, anyways, my question is...
What's your dad do for a living? Works at a welding shop?
No, actually, my dad came in this country about 40 years ago from Portugal, and he is a dairyman.
There's a guy handling milk with a picture of Mickey flipping the bird?
No, it's not that bad.
All right. What's he do as a dairyman?
We have a dairy.
Or is that just part of some singing group I'm not aware of?
No, we have a dairy.
Didn't they back up Elvis? Oh, that's the Jordanaires. All right. You have a dairy?
We have a dairy. Milk cows.
And what do you have to do with those cows?
Actually, I don't do as much as I used to. I now have a different job outside of...
Do they do it electronically?
Yeah. We have a carousel barn. carousel, just like a carousel horse.
Because I'm from North Hollywood. I barely know what a cow is.
Oh,
There's a fiberglass one. They used to be out in front of the supermarket I used to look at.
He does not know what a barn is, except when they sell pornos from it.
Yeah, I know, like the Beta Barn or someplace like that. It has a carousel.
It's a carousel barn. It rotates, and ours is pretty small. It only milks about 8 at a time.
Uh-huh.
And then we milk about 387 to 400 cows.
How many gallons out of a cow do you get?
It depends on your genetics. Some people only get 5, which is between 2 milkings a day. We get, our average is about 9.
9 gallons?
9 to 10, not per milking, for twice. We milk twice a day.
But in one day, you can get 9 or 10 gallons out of one cow. And then when can you milk them again?
You milk them twice a day, every day, while they're lactating until they go back and you dry them up.
Lactating? Is that what that is, Drew?
It's milk.
Oh, for Christ's sake, I poured some of that lactate stuff on my cereal tonight. Oh, I'm mortified.
What?
I like to think of like the milk fairy. I don't like to think about lactation. They have to knock the cow up, right? Too, don't they have to implant things so that the cow... It's like if you wanted a woman to lactate, she'd have to be pregnant. So you have to get the cow pregnant, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
Well, you can either have them artificially inseminated by a veterinarian or someone on the dairy who does artificial insemination, or by the bull.
Really?
And usually by the first or second time, if it doesn't stick, then you artificially inseminate them.
So you just let the bull sort of hang out with them?
Yep.
That's what I love about animals. You leave them in a pen for more than 10 minutes, they start humping.
Oh, yeah, and you only need like one bull for like a couple hundred cows. He's a man. He does his own.
Oh, please don't make Adam jealous.
How many cows can he hump in a good day?
It depends on how many of them are in heat.
Uh-huh.
So it ranges.
How quick is he? Is he fast?
I really don't know. I don't sit back and watch any of my bulls.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not my kind of thing.
Hey, do you have a brother?
I have 2 brothers.
You ever caught either one of them hooking themselves up to the milking device?
No, haven't had that experience yet.
Jeez, this batch came out of the bottle in one piece, Herb. Where are the boys? Oh, they've thought about putting one of those things on their penis.
No,
Yes, they have.
They got some pretty good-looking girlfriends. I don't think they would need to do that.
Yeah, but that thing is just right for a penis, right?
Well, no, not really.
It's not?
It's not that big. I mean, it's got rubber around it, so it can kind of expand, but not too much.
All right, one more quick cow-related question.
Okay.
A cow can put out 9 or 10 gallons a day, every day, for approximately how many days?
I don't even know how many months. It's by month.
It's like 3 months?
Well, it depends on if you're getting a good milking. You usually have them separated into strings, like your top cows would be in your first string, second, third, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
If you can keep maintaining that many gallons, but you always want to keep, you don't want to have them milking too long, because you're going to be able to get them bred.
Right.
Keep your herd getting larger and larger.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, Monica.
Okay, anyway.
I can't remember what your question was, but does she have a question?
He will come back.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Drew. See, this is why you shouldn't take mushrooms. Because if you ever took mushrooms, you'd really think about this.
Cows? Oh, the cow pie. I see. Where the mushrooms come from?
No. Although, you wouldn't want to think about that. But think about this. We have this animal, this like stupid animal that we eat most of the time, but then sometimes we impregnate them, and then that milk that they have to feed their kids, we rob it from them, and then we feed it to our kids. But it's not the same animal.
Then there's an animal nearby that lays these potential children.
Called eggs?
Yeah, and we eat those too. Steal them. Eat them.
It's weird. And then when the cow dies, we make something called jerky. All right, we'll be back.
Loveline, Madam Carolla, and Dr. Drew.
Oh? It is the Loveline. Phone number, 1-800-LVE, 191. All right. Oh.
What's that?
Oh, just reading a bunch of email. Okay. Nothing exciting, as far as I know. Monica.
Yeah.
You're 19.
Yeah. Okay, my question was...
Oh, yeah, you.
Huh?
You, the milking maid with the tats.
Okay, my question is, I really haven't been thinking about it much until this past week, and I went out with a friend of mine, And like I said, I'm 19. Most of my friends are really older than me, between about 23 to 30.
Yeah.
And I go to the bars mostly when we go out on the weekends. And I meet guys with potential, but I really can't, go out with them because then they would think, well, how did I meet you in a bar and you're only 19? Or I'm starting to think maybe I have too high of standards. I'm not going to be conceited. I am pretty good looking.
Oh, really?
And I have a good personality. I'm just trying to think, maybe it's the town I live in. That's why I can't find anybody.
What town do you live in?
That's called Elk Grove.
Huh. Where's that?
It's just south of Sacramento.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm not sure I understand the question. You're not finding the
She's
right
good looking. She's not finding the right guy.
You're 19.
Huh?
You're 19. Why aren't you going to school now?
Well, I did. I just graduated last year, and I went to one semester to college, and then right when I was supposed to start back up, I got hired at a new job at full time.
Adam?
So I'm going to be going to night classes now, probably.
Type of college?
Huh?
Junior?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, I'm serious. And then I'm going to hopefully go to Sac State, because I want to major in political science and get a business.
Yeah, why don't you get on in your education? You'll meet some different kinds of guys.
I can't come up with a better
You're
name
not
than
in an
Sac
environment.
State.
You're not in an environment where you're likely to meet a lot of different people. I mean, that's
where you go,
people
Sac
major
State.
in school, where they're still interacting with their peers.
I'm over at Penis U.
Get out of home, get onto a new social environment, and meet new people.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know there was a Sacramento State.
Sac State. Yeah. Fighting Nads. That's the name of the team. Mascot kind of looks like a garlic clove, but it's not. It's a little different.
It's got a stuff tape.
Kevin.
Hi, guys.
Hey, you're 24.
Yeah.
What's going on over there?
Well, I'm really glad to be with you, and I think you have a wonderful radio program.
Thank you. And let me ask you this, caller. Remember last night, right about this time, I don't know if you're listening, caller, but I spazzed out a little bit about our listeners and how they're rude and they're not very courteous. And I'm wondering if everyone heard that or if Sherry and Lisa are giving people an extra goosing when they call in.
No, I'm just out of the pure joy of being on your program and getting a chance to thank you in person.
Really?
Both.
It's a little both, though?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. I'm trying to get a read from Sherry and Lisa, but
No, they didn't prompt me at all.
Lisa's not real expressive. She just looks. She has the same look for she doesn't hear you, the same look for she's horribly embarrassed, and the same look for
I'll get your coffee.
I'll get your coffee. No, what that look is. Okay. All right, Kevin. Thank you, by the way.
Sure.
Oh, is that your only question?
No.
Oh, okay.
I had something real. I have what I think could be a convincing
I really mean to say.
Pardon?
That's something made up.
Go ahead. And Drew, would you start using the microphone for a change?
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, I think this could be a convincing argument against circumcision. There's basically 3 erotic-genic tissues of the penis, right? 3 areas of it that are erotically sensitive. Those being the foreskin on the inside, the frenulum, which is that little connective tissue on the bottom, and also the glands itself.
A little connective tissue?
There's like that little...
Oh, right.
Right below the head.
Yeah,
down the middle.
Okay.
Let me tell you the 3 erotic parts of the penis. The bottom, the middle, and the top.
Right.
Those would be the parts that are sort of hypersensitive.
You could cut off any piece of that. There'd still be a bottom, middle, and top.
That's right.
So.
Okay. Now I know what you're saying. So, yeah.
Okay, the three areas in order. The foreskin gets basically almost completely cut off in circumcision, so that cuts out one of them. Then the frenulum is usually removed too. That little band of tissue underneath the head, and the glands kind of becomes calloused and dry.
Yes.
Whereas before, if it's uncircumcised, it's supposed to be a mucous membrane. But if you cut off the foreskin, it no longer is one.
Now, mucous membrane is something that stays moist.
Right.
So, yeah. Listen, I was uncircumcised myself. So I know of what I say on this, and it's absolutely true.
How old were you when you got it cut off?
I never did.
Oh, you're uncircumcised.
Well, it's a complicated story. I think I've explained it before in the air.
You wore it off.
Great. Friction. Yeah.
It was all that I was trying to scratch my penis against the bark of a tree. No, here's what happened to my penis.
Oh, please.
For Christ's sake. You know, if I'm not talking about putting a jacuzzi jet in my ass, I'm talking about my penis.
Yeah? And your point?
I was never circumcised.
Tell us about your penis.
All right, I'm starting from the beginning. I was never circumcised as a lad. When I was maybe 13 or 14, maybe even 12, one day, the head of my penis... And Drew, would you stop looking at Engineer Mike, for Christ's sake, and listen to me talk about my penis? Okay. There's nothing worse than when you're really spilling your guts about your penis and you got a guy who's gesturing frantically to Engineer Mike in the next room. Kevin, you're with me, right?
I'm all attention.
Turn it down. It's not Oktoberfest, for Christ's sake. All right. Now, I wasn't circumcised, so my head of my penis popped out, which essentially, like, made me circumcised at a certain age, like 12 or 13.
It wasn't that it grew.
No.
Through it.
If anything, the skin just shrunk. The point is it sort of stayed that way, and then it became, like, more comfortable that way, and that's just the way I wore it. It's like a hairstyle, you know? And that's the way it's always remained. So if you look at my penis, it looks like it's circumcised, but in actuality, it's not. But I have lived in both shoes. I know what it's like to walk a mile in a man's foreskin.
Huh. Did it get less sensitive afterward?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I could remember back in the day. A butterfly lands on the end of your penis, and you'd reel with pain.
Yeah, but how
very sensitive, but very sensitive.
Aren't we constantly
maybe too sensitive?
Hearing about guys that are climaxing too quickly?
Yeah, well, it doesn't. Although most of those guys seem to be circumcised, so I'm not totally sure what your point is. But you're saying if they were uncircumcised,
even worse.
Yeah, but I don't know. If you did a study of Europeans and the length it took them to orgasm, would it be faster than Americans?
So then what purpose would the sensitivity, what does that do?
Well, let me explain it this way. Kevin?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep going with your argument.
Okay, sure.
I'll leave you around. You may have a decent point.
I got another one, too.
All right, well, quiet down.
All right.
Drew?
Yeah.
The end of your penis is almost supposed to be like a clitoris, right?
Yes.
And the clitoris has a hood, and it's in a moist environment, and it's sort of separated from the elements.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The clitoris, I believe, if you took a woman's clitoris, you cut the hood off, and you somehow pushed it out and let it rub against her pants while she was riding her bike. After a few years, it would dry up, and it would become much less sensitive. It becomes much less sensitive.
You keep saying that. I don't know.
It is. I'm telling you, it's true. You a-hole.
Right.
Is you listening to me?
Well, I mean, you can cut off a woman's clitoris, and she can still have function.
Forget about those nutty broads for a minute. They have orgasm when the wind blows, you know. Guys don't work this way. But I'm telling you, a penis, the head of a penis is supposed to be mucosal, like Kevin says. And it's supposed to be in its little environment there. And when you expose it to the environment, it becomes, it's like a convertible. It's like you put it in a parking garage, you put a cover over it, you put Armor All on it, it never sees the light of day, and it looks brand new. All
right.
And then you live by the coast, and you don't put a cover on it, and it starts getting holes worn in it by the sun and seagull crap. Kevin?
Yeah.
You have any other points?
I do. I tried an experiment. I'm circumcised, and have been since infanthood. And I tried this experiment where I wanted to find out what it would be like. So I pulled the skin over and then taped it and left it for a day. And I noticed this amazing increase in sensitivity. I mean, it really got me.
Man, it was just you pulling the tape off.
Oh, yeah, no, that I used a medical tape, so it's no problem.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't see how sensitivity would spring back in a day after years of banging up against the jockstrap. But I'm telling you, as a man who's lived both ways, it was excruciatingly sensitive before, to the point where if someone made contact with it, you sort of winced, almost like the roof of your mouth or something. It was a bizarre experience, and now I can. I use it to like stir coffee, and I don't feel anything. I mean, if I can't find a spoon. All right, we're gonna come back.
I feel so liquidy.
Bring up what you said about the maintenance. Come on, I think people need to hear that.
I am telling you, as a man who, in a prior life, was not circumcised, that the uncircumcised lifestyle is one of certain maintenance, hygiene maintenance, that you cannot let your penis go neglected for too long.
If you don't clean it out, pull the skin down, clean it out, what happens? What happens?
Wasn't there a pop at the end of that somewhere?
Usually.
If you don't,
yeah.
You could get infected. The foreskin could sort of shrink up a little bit, the porthole at the end.
Stinky. Right? It can start smelling. Look, I mean, the point is, there's an awful lot of discussion.
Will you call me stinky?
About how meaningless, how it's ridiculous to play. It doesn't mean
ridiculous.
I've got 3 kids. I can imagine. That means the parents take care of it until they're 14, and then between 13 and 17,
until they're 14.
You know what I mean?
The kid's not 13, and you're jumping the tub with him.
But you know what I'm saying? Because the kids won't do it. They won't do it.
Listen. The peni is not a whole lot different than, I would say, brushing the teeth in terms of whenever you can get your kid to consistently do something on... Would you shut up for a second?
For many years, you're brushing the teeth.
That's
many years.
Okay. But, Jackhole, you don't stop brushing the teeth for them at age 13. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever the age is, you have to stop brushing your kids' teeth for them, or standing behind them, moving their elbow while they brush their teeth. That's probably the age that they can handle their foreskin.
They might be 7 or 8. I mean, think about that.
Okay, well, what the hell do you want me to do about it?
Years and years. Now I really see why this.
All right, but they got years of humping ahead of them.
I know.
Besides, you get the maid to do that, don't you?
Oh, you're such an asshole.
And spray a little of that pine stuff down there while you're there. All right, so what have we learned tonight? Yes, there is a reason for circumcision. Yes, there is maintenance and hygiene involved. But as much as Drew hates to admit it, there's quite an upgrade in sensitivity when you're not circumcised.
But you're not saying it was that much.
You don't know what you're missing, though, so it's academic.
You're saying it's a different quality to the sensitivity, not a tremendously enhanced experience.
More sensitivity.
Maybe a less pleasant experience.
No. More sensitivity equals more pleasure. That's the way the sexual organs work, Drew. That's why they're sensitive in the first place. If there was no sensitivity, you might as well just have someone suck on your elbow.
But there's too much sensitivity.
No. Josh.
Hello?
You're 18. Listen, God is no fool, Drew.
Indeed not.
Okay. But wait, Jesus was Jewish? Was he circumcised?
Sure.
Was God's son circumcised?
Of course.
That doesn't sound like much of a plan. All right, Josh. What's going on with you?
Oh, I got a big problem. I was involved with this woman who's married, and she wasn't happily married.
How old is she?
She's 22. She has 3 kids with her husband.
22 with 3 kids.
Yeah.
I guarantee I'm paying for 2 of them.
Why not 3?
No, actually, she works.
You're paying for the 3rd. Yeah.
And she says that she loves me and I love her, and she knows that. I tell her that every day. I mean, I talk to her on the phone still. She moved with him, even though she don't want to be with him. She's with him for the kids, I guess. And I want to know what I should do. I mean, I don't...
You should turn gay.
Stay the hell away.
That's what I was thinking.
Please.
There you go. Good. Good thought.
Listen, all you screwed up 18-year-old males, believe me, you'll live to F again. This is the problem. They get themselves a piece of ass. They haven't had any piece of ass before this, and that's it. And it doesn't matter. They could have 5 kids. They could be raging alcoholics. They could marry some toothless guy, drives a pickup truck who's going to put a bullet hole in them. It doesn't matter. Once they get themselves a piece of ass after a long, dry pubescent spree there, and then then the spring dawns and the flowers bloom and they get some ass, they cannot be weaned off it. I got to talk to this Josh. I know, Josh?
Yeah?
When did you're 18 now?
Yeah.
How long have you been seeing her?
For 2 months now.
Uh-huh. And what were you doing? Did you have a girlfriend before that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened there?
Well, she stole from my family, and my sister beat her up and sent her on down the road while I was in jail.
Oh, this is good.
Oh, while you were in jail?
Yeah. I was getting off probation, straighten out my life.
Oh, so they put you in jail for getting off probation?
30 days.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are some people just born into probation, Drew?
Well, yeah, pretty much. You're born into life of crime, I guess.
So it's like you have a parole violation or probation violation and get thrown back in prison without even doing anything wrong in the first place, right?
Yeah.
How did you get on parole?
How'd I get on probation?
Probation.
Well, this is a long story. It started whenever I was like 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Started stealing cars.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I started drugs and all that.
Okay. Hey, listen. Josh?
Yeah?
Listen clearly. I know part of a life of making horrible decisions is not listening to anybody, but whatever that voice inside of you says to do, which, by the way, if I could get that voice outside of you, I would execute it. It should be put in a gas chamber, because all it's going to do is get you hooked up with crazy broads with 3 girls.
She's not crazy.
She's crazy.
She's level-headed.
Listen, she wouldn't be with you if she was level-headed.
I helped her out a lot. I mean, I was there for her whenever she had her surgery.
All right.
Her surgeries. She's
She had her
22.
gallbladder removed.
22.
Yeah.
Your husband beat her occasionally?
Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy.
Hey, Josh, you ever watch that Jerry Springer show?
All the time.
Yeah. You know how I don't know if you do this. You may look up to some of these folks, but
No, I think
you know how we normal people, we make fun of the people that are on that show?
Yeah.
Okay, do you make fun of those people?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. That's why you shouldn't get hitched up with this one. Because people are going to be making fun of you.
Well,
this woman has serious problems. Do you understand, Josh? You're 18. You can go anywhere you want. I could give you a haircut and an Armani suit, and for all you know, people think you were a high roller. Don't screw up your life anymore. I'm telling you, this is the beginning of the end. You get hooked up with this. I predict her husband kills you.
Nah.
All right, Josh, just listen. Don't break the law. Don't screw up.
All right, and I have one more question. This is a medical question for Drew.
Yeah.
Okay, I have like these like sharp pains in my left side, left abdominal region. I have like attacks of pain, and I don't know what it's from.
How long have you had that?
For 2 years now.
It needs to be evaluated. I can't not even guess without a lot more information.
I hope it renders him sterile. Do you have any kids, Josh?
No.
Don't have kids.
Why, you think they'll turn out like me?
You're going to watch them on Springer from an old age home.
That's what I was thinking.
Please, Josh, you can do anything you want. Just don't do what you want to do. Do you understand? You can do anything you want with your life, except for stay on the course you're on. Oh, this country's going to hell in a bucket, Drew. You got a call picked out?
This is 6, believe it or not. That pen is just...
Dustin?
Yeah.
You're 17?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, man, I'm just having some problems with these girls, man. I have kind of been away from society for about a year. I got into a lot of trouble when I was younger and went to a juvenile correctional facility.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, before I went in, I had a lot of girlfriends, like, every day, you know, just girlfriends all the time. And when I got out, I've been trying to, you know, kind of experiment a little bit, get back used to being around girls a lot.
What's your question?
Well, right now these girls are just, oh man, I've been talking to girls and I have a tracker because I'm on parole, and
you have a tracker?
Yeah.
You mean like an ankle bracelet?
No, like a human tracker, you know, somebody that
like a shadow,
like a
like a shadow.
mountain man with a beard, wearing pelts, and
it's a she, and
what does she have to do?
She just follows me around and tells me what to do.
Really?
Yeah.
God knows what then. She's making $40,000 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not paying her, are you?
No.
No. You know who's paying her? I am, you bastard. Let me tell you, if I was in charge, I'd give you one more screw up and then I'd put a bullet in your head.
Well, I'm getting my life together.
Good.
I took advantage of the system, got graduated a year and a half early, and I'm really doing stuff with my life now. I'm going to a trade school, getting a trade now.
Good. What trade?
Drafting.
Good. Everyone should go to trade school.
It's a great school, but these girls, I just want to talk to them, and I got caught up with a bunch of them because I was talking to a bunch of them, just trying to figure out, what it's like, how they are, who's psycho, who's not, who to see and who not to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to jump in anything right now. I just want to...
What's your question, Dustin?
Well, what do I do about it? How do I go about it? Because my tractor's going to find out about these girls.
You're not allowed to
saying all
date?
this stuff. They're all calling me a pimp and saying I'm just a player and all this stuff. And
you're not allowed to date?
Well, actually I am, but she's going to be pissed because of the girls are saying all this stuff like I'm a pimp.
All
and all this
right,
stuff.
Dustin, listen, don't hang out with girls that call you a pimp. And do a little less dating and stay with the drafting.
Do what's right. And the
do you tip your tracker, by the way?
The tracker won't be pissed off.
Don't screw with the tracker.
I'm going to call it the stalker.
The tracker. I can't get a garbage man to get out of the effing truck, and Dustin's got a tracker. I pay $200,000 a year in taxes. I can't get my garbage man to get out of the truck. I asked him for an extra can. Yeah, I'll be an extra $10 a month. Bastards. Meanwhile, we got plenty of money for Dustin and his tracker. Please. Oh, I'm telling you, when I get in control, that's it. I'm weeding without the seeding. I will thin the herd immediately. Everybody without an education is gone except for me and my friends.
Now we got to go to break.
Don, shut up. Don, you're 20?
Yeah.
Is it possible for a guy to lose interest in sex when smoking pot?
Is that right?
Right.
Yes, it is possible. It's probably not the reason, but it is possible. Julia, 15, worried about boyfriend. He might be in jail for possession of a lot of LSD.
Not a lot of LSD, just one tab.
Okay, one tab the size of a wheel of cheese?
No.
All right, stop smoking the pot.
Don't smoke so much pot, Julia.
I do not smoke pot. I haven't smoked pot since January.
But before that, how long did you smoke for?
Oh, I've only smoked pot twice my whole life.
Really? Your mom didn't put bong water in your bottle?
No.
Got that laugh.
Wow. What else do you do? You must do some drugs.
No, I do not. No.
Okay, don't get pregnant.
I won't.
That's my advice. I don't know what the hell your boyfriend in juvie's going to do, but don't get pregnant. She sounded like she was a candidate for that. Wait a minute. Find someone who's been on hold a little longer. Josh, 18. Girlfriend went. Oh, we already talked to you.
Yeah.
Still is. Yeah. We already talked to you. Yeah. 3 kids. Husband's beating her.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you know the husband was beating her?
It's just she's that.
That's her?
That profile, yeah.
Okay. And Josh is in love and he can't help it. Oh, what a life. Can you imagine at 18, Engineer Mike, trying to get the other room involved in the show. Imagine at 18 getting involved with a woman who had 3 kids. I couldn't handle a woman with 3 cats.
And a violent husband.
I couldn't do that now.
Yeah, here's the deal. She's your dream girl, except for she has a violent husband who beats her, so God knows